All right, everybody, welcome to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Mike Catalana along with Jenna Cottrell. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Jenna up in Orchard Park where you watched practice today, talked with the players. Let's get a general sense. First, we'll start with the injuries. Where are they now on this short week leading into the game with the Saints?
Yeah, we saw Tremaine Edmonds. He's been back to practicing. He obviously missed the last two games dealing with a hamstring injury, but he was a full participant today. Cole Beasley, Sean McDermott said he would be a full participant, but was only limited on Wednesday or Tuesday. That's something to think of. And then Marquez Stevenson, a guy that we really haven't seen. He's been on the IR dealing with a foot injury. He's a returner type of guy. He was practicing today. This is the first time he has practiced. The Bills have about 3 weeks before they put him on the 53-man roster if they want to, or if not, he'd be shut down for the season. But he was at practice, returning kicks. It was kind of interesting because Isaiah McKenzie right next to him. Don't know if he will play on Thursday. We asked Sean McDermott, and he said everything is on the table. So something to note with that. But not too many injuries, it seems, as we head into Thursday against the Saints.
Yeah, and I'm going to assume no change in the players in COVID protocol with Spencer Brown and Star Lotulelei.
Correct. At this point, they are still in COVID reserve. The protocol that has Sean McDermott saying he will not comment on that. I believe Star Lotulelei on Wednesday would be eligible to come back if that would be the 10 days. But again, that's if he didn't have symptoms and is still feeling well. So there's a lot that goes into that we're not quite sure about.
It is interesting about when players are eligible to return, whether it's from the COVID protocols or even from the IR. John Feliciano, a good example, that he's eligible to come back, but while the team has the time to bring him back, that doesn't necessarily mean the guy is ready to play just because his time on IR is up.
Correct. And Feliciano did not practice today. Sean McDermott said he would not be out there. We did see him a little bit with the team earlier, but he was not doing anything in terms of practice. I know a lot of Bills fans want to see him back out there as soon as possible, and he is eligible to come up and play. But again, he didn't practice today, so that's not looking good.
Yeah. I mean, if you have to look at it realistically, the guy hasn't played in almost a month, and he will have no real practices because basically Wednesday's a walkthrough, and then they get on the plane and fly to New Orleans. So, Jenna, everybody wants to know, like, what's the vibe with this team now? They keep it the same. It's the same. It's the same. And that's worked well for them. But I think even a lot of fans want to see something different. Did you see anything different out of them today?
It's interesting. The tone felt, especially talking to like Josh Allen and everyone after, I felt like the tone was pretty somber. And Sean McDermott had asked that, or Sean McDermott said that it was somber in the building on Monday. Josh Allen said it was focused, not somber, but it definitely was more of that aspect of not a lot of dancing at practice. Once again, it felt very buttoned up, and focused is probably the right word. Now, at practice on Tuesday. Sorry, all my days are so messed up because the Bills are playing on Thursday. But they weren't wearing pads, so it wasn't exactly at the intensity level that we're used to. But at the same point, I felt like this is a team that frankly got humiliated on Sunday against the Colts, and I think that it's reflective of that at practice. I think there's a lot of guys that are itching to get ready to play again, and they're very thankful for the opportunity. The fact that they can turn the page literally later this week, and the fact that it's going to be, all eyes on them in Thanksgiving.
Yeah. In terms of the changes, potential changes that were made, you already mentioned like somebody like Marquez Stevenson. That might be a surprise since he's a rookie and hasn't really played. But Matt Breida's name comes up all the time, and he's shown a spark. And we heard Brian Daboll talk about what he adds to it. Any talk about Breida today? Because I know needing a running game, fans are looking for almost anything. Does Breida's name come up?
Yeah, it definitely has. And, Stephon Diggs was asked about him, and he said that Breida adds a spice to this offense. And I think this Bills offense has needed some spice. They've needed some type of spark. And I think a lot of people are curious to see how much Breida will be playing on Thursday. And I personally just get the impression with what you've seen from him, I think you're going to see him out there more. I think the Bills are kind of at the point in the season where, especially with the way things have gone, especially last Sunday, that they need to have a different type of direction at some point. They need to be able to go to someone. And Breida's offered them the ability to be a guy that's been a little bit more consistent in picking up yards. So I personally would expect to see more Breida on Thursday. But, Stephon Diggs was talking about how they've seen how talented Breida has been all the way back through training camp. They're not surprised to see how effective Breida's been on the field, but he says that he offers
A spark.
a spark. For some reason, grammatically, that did not sound right to me.
Well,
so that's where we're
the
at.
triple pause did add emphasis to it. So when
This
we
is
talk
the
about
most
Matt Breida,
Jenna on brand every video ever.
well, when we talk about Breida, we will now say he offers a spark.
Okay, yeah.
That's
I've
what
been
it'll be.
out of it for a little bit, so this is definitely
Yes. Jenna's bouncing back. She's
yes.
but good, not feeling great for a couple of days, but you're ready
Yeah.
to play on the short week. You're ready for Thursday. We know you
As I
are.
say,
You're ready
yeah.
for it. Josh Allen's the one that gets me, and I know he's stayed even keel and all, and I think that's good. I heard he was asked about winning the last time on Thanksgiving, which was a big day
Yeah.
person. He deflects those questions so well that he should be in goal for the Sabres, just knocking them away. Like he won't even
Truly
entertain that. But in
Yeah.
terms of, that same focus, when you listen to them, they've said it and it's worked. Focus, they win. Focus and they win.
Yeah.
But do you get a sense that even internally, some things are going to change this week, that maybe the mentality will be a little bit different? I don't know if the spark will be there. I mean,
Yeah.
outwardly, they look like they were ready to play against the Colts and they played terribly. But from Josh or anything, do you think it'll be any different on Thursday night?
I think, we asked him just about what he saw from that game on Sunday against the Colts, and he said his biggest takeaway was just the decision making that he made and the fact that he just needs to be better. He needs to trust what he sees. And I would say that I think the word that comes to mind is urgency. I think you're going to see that out of Josh Allen, and I think you're going to see that out of this entire Bills team. I asked Stephon Diggs, like, what is it like when you want to play aggressive, but you don't want to do too much, because there's a window that, you do too much and then it backfires on you. And, Diggs just talked about the fact that you don't want to get too cute. So I think it's that returning to the fundamentals of what this team does well. And that is, getting the ball to a guy like Stephon Diggs. And, we even asked Diggs, like, do you want to be kind of force fed a little bit more? And he said, I'm not a selfish guy. I'm a team player, but I mean, we've seen this Bills offense be efficient through Diggs. So I would expect to see him be involved just as much as he was a couple weeks ago in the Jets game. But I think for Josh Allen, like, I think they're going to do some shorter passes early on to kind of get Allen into a rhythm. And then you just want to see him be the player he can be. And I think a lot of Bills fans have been just so frustrated because we've seen some of those inconsistencies and that poor decision making, but I think some of that does come from trying to do too much and that hero ball. So I think this team is going to settle in and be themselves. But they were asked, "Is this a must-win game?" And they're not going to outwardly say it's a must-win, but this is a must-win game, in my opinion. Considering, look,
no, I'm going to laugh because I have a Marv Levy answer for this too.
What's that?
I always have a Marv Levy line. So Marv had a great one. He's like, must win, must win. He goes, World War II. That was a must win. Now that's so Marv.
When you compare anything to that, it sounds outrageous.
Well,
obviously that's true.
Must wins, like playoff games are must wins, or the game to get in the playoffs. But let's be honest. It's a non-conference game. Normally in the schedule, you'd say non-conference on the road, short week. In the scheme of things, it's not as important. Jenna, they need a win.
That's what I'm saying. They need this win bad, because if you have back-to-back losses, especially it's going to be Thursday night, there's going to be all eyes on the Bills for that primetime slot. That's going to be bad.
Yeah.
This is a team that so many people have had such high hopes for, that back-to-back losses, and especially if it's anything like Sunday's loss was, like, you can't have that again.
And then
this team is talented too.
Yes.
That's the frustrating part.
And then imagine the misery in Western New York from Thursday night late a week and 4 more days until the Monday afterward,
Oh,
till you play the Patriots coming in.
Patriots.
So, yeah, that's why I think this is important.
Yeah.
What I want to go back to Diggs before we let you go.
Yeah.
His brother's playing earlier than him on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. So he's
Yes.
got to try to, I mean, look, they play on Sundays a lot, but this is Thanksgiving. That's Cowboys Day. Normally is Thanksgiving. You know,
Yeah.
they've got the game right before the Bills. Who's the family watching?
The family is going to watch both. I guess Stephon Diggs' mom will be on the couch. He was asked if his mom has like a split jersey, and he said no. He hopes she just wears a Stephon Diggs Bills jersey, but we'll see about that. But no, he said it's a special day in the Diggs household. And look, this is an opportunity that these guys growing up have all dreamed of having. And we saw this Bills team show out on Thanksgiving in Dallas a couple years ago, and that was kind of a signature win that I felt like put this Bills team kind of on the map. And again, this Bills team is already on the map, but the win on Thursday could do a lot for their psyche. It could do a lot for this team, and it could do a lot just nationally in terms of the perspective that a lot of people have about this Buffalo group moving forward.
One last thing. They won't accept that they're underdogs, and they're not technically in this game, but they love saying we knew people were down on us, but they say it all the time. Most of the time, people aren't down on them.
Yeah.
People are down on them now.
Correct.
Like they do have something to prove Thursday night.
Oh, absolutely. And, they were even asked, like, you're kind of now like creeping into that underdog role. And the question was asked to Jordan Poyer, and I personally believe he's a guy who's very personally motivated himself. Like, I feel like he always plays with that fire. But he talked about the fact that there's noise, and this team hears that, and this team knows that they are better than the way that they've played, and they just have to get back to being them. But he said, but better. They need to be playing like them, but better. And I agree with that.
Yeah. They know it. I think they realize it, and we'll see if it comes out on Thursday.
They won't say they listen to it and they seek it out, but the vibe is they know the way they've been playing. They know what they're capable of, and they know the discretion in between. So I think you're going to see a very motivated team on Thursday.
All right. Well, we want to remind everybody we're having our Ventsgiving show Wednesday night, 6:45. Dan, Jenna, and myself together. We're going to let you vent away on what's upset you about this team. Jenna, I feel like we get the venting out, and then Thursday, it's Thanksgiving. We can focus more on this individual game. You think that's good?
Yeah. I think that's great. First of all, I want to start the venting session with I cannot believe I forgot words earlier on in this blog, in this video. So there's that. We'll start with that venting. It starts with myself. I got to look at the plan. I got to take it day by day and reassess and reevaluate. But no, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's like an airing of grievances before you sit down to feast. Before the Bills sit down to feast on Thursday, come hang out with us and we can talk everything. Because I know a lot of Bills fans are very frustrated. I totally and completely understand. We understand that. So we'd love to hear from everyone, and we're going to have fun with this. So we hope everyone joins and enjoys themselves as well.
Yeah, you guys comment away. We'll read the comments. We'll embrace the venting on Wednesday and then get ready for Thursday. All right, that's going to do it. We'll let Jenna get inside after practice today, though they did practice inside today, right? Getting ready for the dome.
Yeah. They were inside. I believe that will probably be the normal going forward. Yeah. And also they're playing in a dome. So I think
and getting ready for
34 degrees out here in the wind. They were like, let's practice inside today.
All right, we'll let you get inside. That's going to do it for us. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the Buffalo Plus channel. For Jenna Cottrell, I'm Mike Catalana. Thanks for watching.
Please be nice to me.